Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of the Who Even Asked podcast. On today's episode, we discuss the Olympics and what sports we think maybe should not have made the cut. We go on to discuss the hybrid training trend that's going on at the moment, what that means and sort of how to define it if we can really create a definition for it. And then we go on to discuss different naming conventions for fitness classes and what we think maybe you shouldn't really be calling something when it isn't particularly that thing. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, guys. All right, guys, life updates.
Yes,
What is going on in your life?
I got back from Bali, so that's pretty big. We've already done a take, that's why you see.
This is the second time.
You are very, yes, well
I'm onto it because I know what I'm saying this time because I've said it again. I got back from Bali. We did a fitness retreat for Evolution and a week of training hard, a lot of activities and some really good food as well, which was good. Good to get away. The weather was nice, much nicer than here. It was like 27 every day.
Yeah.
And
I think we
then,
had some miserable days while we were away.
yeah.
Grim mornings.
Yeah. Got back and, the weather hasn't been bad since I've got back actually.
It's been great.
It's actually been...
We actually can't complain.
Yeah.
The last couple of days has been good.
Like when I wake up and it's 11 degrees in the car, I'm like,
I can do this.
That's hot.
I can do
I'm
what I can do
sweating.
today.
Sweating. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I got a little bit sick when I got back, but I think, Maddie, to answer your question from the previous recording of this before we cut it, on the last day, I don't remember doing this, but I got a little can of Coke.
Oh.
Because over there
was it on the plane or no?
No. It was at like this proper Indonesian restaurant. That wasn't like part of, like it was in Kuta, but it wasn't part of the touristy spots.
Yeah.
It was like down a few side streets and stuff, and there was no tourists there. So it was good food. And I initially thought it was like the rice, because it was like watery kind of rice. I'm like, was the water not properly boiled or whatever? But I don't remember doing it, but apparently maybe I poured my can of Coke that I got into the glass they gave me with the ice.
Gotcha.
And then the ice probably got me. But they only do like really small cans of soft drink over in Bali.
Usually when they give you the cups of water, ice, they say like, oh no, this is the good ice. They always tell me it's the good ice. I'm like, okay, cool.
What does that mean? It's
Yeah.
just like sterile.
Yeah, when we were eating lunch,
They've like filtered that water before it's been frozen up.
It's been nice.
yeah. It was a pretty like small, like little kind of restaurant, and like the bathroom was like through the kitchen and stuff like that. So it was kind of like an authentic experience. But I'm like, it probably was that, but it wasn't it wasn't that bad for me, to be honest. Like it wasn't proper Bali sort of situation. So
At least it was when you were like leaving.
yeah, and it didn't hit me until after the flight.
Yeah.
So that was nice as well.
That's true. That's good.
Yeah. Mads, updates? What's your week, 2 weeks? We had a pretty hectic week. We actually filmed an episode we probably won't release.
Really?
We might release it. We'll see. I haven't rewatched it to see how good or bad it was.
Me either.
So we'll rewatch it. But we probably talked about how hectic our week was. We talked
Yeah,
about
we
how
did.
hectic
I remember
our
that,
week was
yeah.
in that podcast episode. So
Yeah.
And that was what was that on the
was
Friday
that the
you
week?
filmed it?
Yeah, the Friday.
No,
before you
we
got
actually
back.
filmed it the Monday.
Oh, we filmed it on Monday. Yes. Correct.
After you'd already done the hectic week.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was a bit of a review of our hectic week.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really have any life updates. Really.
Nothing's
Pretty boring.
news.
How's the feet going? We don't have to go into this. much more.
Yeah, they're going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't see like any separation in my toes just yet. But,
Just
you
yet,
know,
yeah.
No.
But you're still wearing the spaces?
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I might get on the spaces.
Committed to the cause, you know?
I'm sure there's other ways you can do toe spaces.
Probably.
Anyway.
Just put a bit of gum in there or something.
A bit of gum. Like a cotton bud. I always think of a cotton bud. Just a whack of cotton bud.
Oh yeah, that'll soak it up. Yeah.
But also keep it dry. Anyway, people don't really care.
What if you got sweaty and then the cotton would stick to your toes and you wouldn't be able to peel it off?
That doesn't happen.
Anyway.
Most of your clothes are made out of cotton, or they used to be anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not like.
Yeah, it's all
Anyways.
synthetic shit.
Yeah. Back in my day. Your life update, Sachin?
What have I done other than the hectic week? I've done a lot. Literally just,
You've had a few massages this week, haven't you?
yeah, I've been doing more massages, so I had a few booked in this week, which is good. I'm enjoying just the hands-on and getting... I'm definitely someone that like believes in getting good at something by the repetition of doing it.
Doing it, yeah.
So like I think it's an awesome thing for me to have, like the massages, like booked in purely for that reason. Like I get to troubleshoot a new problem. Someone comes in, even if I'm seeing the same person, they usually present with something different. So I get to go through the process of kind of understanding what their problem is, working out a treatment plan, but then getting repeat bookings means I get to understand how they responded as well from the treatment. And I've been playing around with a bit of dry needling as well, which I think definitely, I'm on a mission. I don't know if did you see the little geeky thing I have in there?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, on the back table, yeah.
That's how many dry needles I've done outside of the course.
Oh, good
I
one.
forgot to add the 3 that I just did, but 4. We had 4 didn't I just then? Yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then trap.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
4, yeah.
But I'm on a mission. I think what I want to get done before I get fully qualified as a Myo is have had done 500, which is a lot.
When are you meant to be qualified?
I think based on how much volume of work we have at the start of the year, like generally our start of the year is pretty busy for us.
Yeah.
The amount of placement I'll be able to fit in probably mean I won't really finish till April, I reckon.
Oh,
Just because
fair.
there's so many hours.
Yeah.
There's 70 hours of placement.
At least that allows you
hours.
enough time to be able to
Yeah.
try and hit that 500.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm
Still a lot.
counting
That's
how
a lot.
many dry needles I put in outside of the
Yeah, nice. Of course.
my therapy course,
Yeah.
so I can get good at it. Because I think, again, it's one of those things that like
It's a good idea.
you don't really have the sensation of what different tissue feels like unless you're doing it so repetitively that you understand.
On
that
different people too as well.
Yeah,
Like,
on
it's
different
probably
people.
all
I think it makes a
different.
huge difference.
Yeah.
That's why my life update.
Nice.
So I don't know when this will get released, but it's currently week
Olympics.
2 of the Olympics,
Yep.
which is why I've got the socks on.
Yep.
Um,
We're doing well. We always do well there, don't we? Australia, as a country, I feel like we do pretty well.
Yeah,
at the
I think
Olympics.
always good at the start with the swimming, and then
Yeah.
it drops off. But like usually, I mean, there's a few random. Like I saw we won the skateboarding gold. That was
Yeah.
pretty good. The little random ones there, where you're like, oh, that's probably better than what we normally do.
Yep. On that side note, sports that shouldn't be included because mine's skating. I don't think skateboarding should be an Olympic sport.
That's
Here's
big.
the thing, right? Here's my thing when it comes to sports that get judged.
Yeah.
Because there's a fair few in the Olympics. that
Yeah,
are
it's like
less
human
judged.
judgment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
human judgment based. I reckon there's too much bias that goes into like different stories of people and like what
Yeah.
they do and like how binary can you make the result of the win when that is how you sort of right? And if it's the pinnacle of a sport, like are we judging it? I think there should be like I think gymnastics has been around so long that it does have maybe like I don't understand it well enough to know, but I reckon it's probably one of the sports that has judging that means that the actual judgment is like proper.
It's like criteria
There's
based kind of
criteria
thing,
based.
yeah.
I don't know.
Form,
I
technique,
don't
blah,
know
blah.
what. How does skateboarding work?
have
No,
no
I
idea.
think skateboarding works the same as gymnastics.
Similar
is
way.
that like you have a bunch of things you have to tick off in a routine. Like you must
Yep.
do one of these things.
Like how many
one of
tricks
these.
and...
Like you have to do a
Difficulty
grind.
rating of tricks.
Yeah, like you have to do a grind of some kind. You
fuck's
have
a
to do
grind?
some sort of air trick. You don't know what a grind is?
Yeah,
Oh, do I look like a skater girl to you?
you give me that vibe sometimes.
I haven't told that.
You live by like the beach, mate.
Yeah.
That's like you'd be going to skate parks after work and hanging out.
I don't even know where the nearest skate park is near me.
Anyway, so a
Yeah.
grind is it's just when you go like
I just think of like parkour.
Parkour and
Bring that
skateboarding
in.
are not the same thing.
bring parkour into the Olympics.
That should definitely not be a sport.
You know where they run up and then they do like side things on
Yeah.
the thing. That's what they do just with the skateboard underneath.
Pretty much. Yep.
I reckon get rid of this. Well, I wasn't going to actually say this is my answer, so
Get rid of
what was
what?
your answer?
I was going to. Well, my actual answer was going to be the walking, but I think
Same.
surfing.
No, I agree. Walking.
Walking, it's gotta
But
go.
I was
You're
speaking
just
to
a
your dad
failed
about it
runner.
this morning, Corey, and
Yeah.
he said it's actually really hard. And I don't disagree with that.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't think it's easy. But I still think you could just run.
No, it's because like
Yeah.
they're just not fast enough runners, so they've just gone to walking.
Do you reckon that's what they
Yeah,
do?
they're like a
I
failed
don't know if
runner.
I don't know if
I'm
that's what
sitting
makes
here
you
like
good.
I've been to the fucking Olympics or I'm ever gonna go, seriously.
Like, there's plenty of things in life that are hard. Doesn't mean they should be Olympic sports.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
spinning a pen around your finger, like that's hard.
It's pretty hard.
Don't want it in the Olympics.
I don't like watching any of like the fucking discus and the show. I hate that.
Shot put and discus should be
Yeah.
an Olympic sport.
Like,
Aren't those traditional Olympic sports though? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that.
That goes back a long way.
yeah.
I think you just got to see that shot put as like the furthest you can throw something, and then like the shot put is like the furthest you can throw something.
I just don't think
but without momentum.
How do you like train for so long for something like that?
What do you mean?
Like, what are you doing to like accentuate your?
Shot put's just producing power. You can do that.
It's
You can
one
do
of
it.
just
But
the
through
most.
one arm.
Yeah.
I
You-
just
you would not
imagine-
train the other arm, but
Yeah.
I just imagine it's like one of those, you know, it's a sport that started because a bunch of dudes were just bored. you know?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like, how far can you throw this rock?
yeah,
Yeah.
And then it's just gone from there.
Like it's not.
Yeah. And then someone decided to put a rock on like a bit of string, like how far can you throw it now? Huh? And then that became its own sport. And then someone's like, well, what if we made a different shape and we made it like a frisbee shape? Oh yeah, let's try that as well.
I just think like that requires a different kind of like athleticism to like someone that's fucking swimming, doing breaststroke and then backstroke. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
but
there's
when you put a lens on any sport, they're all kind of dumb. Like everything other than freestyle is like a dumber stroke.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
this is the fastest way you can swim,
Yeah.
but now we're going to make some rules where you have to do like some weird thing with your arms instead.
Yeah.
What
It's
about
slower.
backstroke?
It's slower and it's harder, but like why do you want to be slower and make
Yeah,
things
yeah.
harder?
Yep.
It's like arbitrary.
Yeah. I agree. I think only freestyle.
Only
And the
freestyle,
rest.
and let them stay under the water as long as they want. They don't have to come
Without
up for air.
breathing, really?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, they have to get
Are
up
they
before
really? Yeah.
there's like a the little things above your head
Oh,
at
yeah.
like the halfway mark, like 25 meters. So when you dive in,
You have to
you have to
come
make
before
a breath before the 25.
that. I did not know that.
But get rid of that.
Yeah,
Let
I
them
agree.
go under for the full 50,
Yeah.
turn, then come
See,
up.
that's talent
That's
to be
kind of-
able to hold
Yeah.
your breath that whole like that long.
It would definitely change the sport in a way that like
Would probably ruin it, but
Yeah.
that's the fun of it.
oh, you know what we should the performance enhanced games. When's that happening? Wasn't that talked about earlier? Is that still happening?
I don't
Surely
think
they're
it
not
will.
doing that.
I don't think.
Yeah,
it
I
will.
don't think so.
You don't think that'll happen?
I don't think
You
it'll
said there was
happen.
A private investor that is that what happened? It was a private investor that was like,
Yeah, but they don't understand. Like it's like you know you think you can start a company and just do what you want, and then all of a sudden when it starts to get the ball rolling, then you realize there's all these like things that stop you from doing that. Like that's why
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one's
yeah.
done it. Like
Yeah, yeah,
there'll just
true.
be so many things to do with like insurance and all that crap that won't
Yeah.
allow it to happen. I'm sure.
sign waivers. It's not a thing.
It's not
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah.
Or you'll host it in a country where it doesn't matter, right?
Like what
Host it
country?
on
Yeah.
a big ass boat in international water.
Yeah. There you go.
That'll be fun.
If you you get kicked off the boat if you don't do well.
No, I mean.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant it like, you know, it's a place without the laws. But yeah, we can go that as well.
You fend for yourself.
They drug test, but if you come up clean, then you get kicked off. What are you doing here? You're not on enough drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. We're gonna give you this injection and you can stay.
yeah. What's our fitness question? Do we have a fitness question?
We did. No, I've forgotten it. Do you
Oh
remember?
no, Maddie. Come
Hybrid
say-
training.
Hybrid
yes.
training.
Yes.
I guess
On
that is a good segue from Olympics because
Yeah.
I'd say a majority of the sports would be
be
doing
hybrid.
strength training
Yeah.
as a bit of a base,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then obviously they're doing sport-specific training for
Yeah.
the sport. things
For the
like that.
sport, really specifically for the sport, because you think about swimmers, like if they were to strength train and gain size, that's probably a disadvantage in their sport. Or if there's a correlation between size and loss of mobility, that's a disadvantage in their sport as well.
Yeah.
They're probably, their focus definitely isn't obviously their strength training. It's their, whatever their sport is, like their singular sport.
Yeah.
Hybrid training. Where did this come from? And
What is hybrid training?
what is it? I feel like it definitely the last maybe the last 6 months. You know,
Well,
Yeah.
I
maybe
don't
last year.
even really know. Like, explain to me what you think it is, because I don't really know.
So people are posting about it, and firstly, I
People are
don't think
adding
it's
it to their Instagram bios. Hybrid athlete.
But they are what? No,
yeah,
they're not.
Yeah.
No.
Have you not seen?
Well, I hate people.
Mate, you can
Anyway,
add anything to those bios.
Yeah,
is there?
you can,
Yeah.
but should you?
No, absolutely
No,
not.
Exactly. So I think people that have gotten into running previously did strength training, and now calling themselves hybrid athletes. And
You
then
know.
it's a whole thing now, which is I think it's fine. Like if people want to run as well
I
as do
think it's
strength
good,
training, I
yeah.
think it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Where does this go wrong? I think where it potentially goes wrong is people literally doing them together and calling it one thing when it's not that thing. And this happens at like a lot of gyms where I think like my main frustration of this one is like it's very like a small thing, but it's like I think people shouldn't call classes something that they're not because it misleads the public.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be a strength Pilates class. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I think
Oh no. Yeah, okay.
that's what's happening out there, right?
Is it?
Yeah. There's like
Out in this jungle.
yeah.
It's crazy out there.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And I know,
Jungle
I
out
fully
there.
understand there's no copyright, legal terming, and any of that around what you can use strength training for as the term, right? There's no rules saying you can't call this, right? When it comes to exercise classes.
I mean, they probably should.
But I think people, again, going back to our point when we're talking about food labeling on and how the companies should be held liable for what they're saying and how they're, you know, not maliciously misleading the public, but for the average person, yes, that it is misleading. I think the same thing should happen for fitness classes where, you know, let's not get mixed up the fact that you can't do cardio and call it strength training. Cardio is not strength training. They're two separate things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't do cardio strength. There's like, no.
Is that a thing? Someone can call it?
I don't know if someone's calling it that
Okay.
specifically, but in other ways, like that's being done in the industry, I reckon. And I think it's because people, what the consumer wants is they probably know that and they've heard that they need to do some strength training. They also want to do some cardio training. And if they can go somewhere where they get both and it ticks the box.
Both.
Yeah. And it ticks the box
Because it's convenience, like they think they're ticking off two things in
at
one.
once.
Yeah. No.
When we know, like, to optimize strength training, you that's separate to then doing cardio training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we, as like our training methodology here, we superset stuff, which isn't purely optimizing for strength training as well, right? To the point where, like, when we have powerlifting athletes, like, they're doing one lift, they're not supersetting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing one lift and they're resting. Because if we're purely trying to maximize strength, that's what they have to do, right?
Yep.
And obviously most of our clientele are, like, we want them to strength train because we understand the value of it, but they're not powerlifting clients. They're not, you know, that's not their sole focus.
Yeah.
So we do superset for everyone else just for time efficiency's sake. But when it comes to doing cardio training, it's not glued into what they're doing for strength training.
No.
And
Like going back to like the strength Pilates.
Yeah.
Like they're building like some form of like they're getting stronger at doing Pilates.
Yeah.
But they're not like
they're not doing strength
But
training.
that's
building
really, I mean,
muscle or anything.
it's
so
questionable what you call that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know the correct answer because it's like,
Yeah.
are you building strength or are you building endurance or are you building isometric strength?
Yeah.
And all of those
stability,
things
right?
are different things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it's-
like, not
yeah,
to
it's
say I
more
don't
stability.
like Pilates. Like, I think
I
there's
like
a spot for it
Pilates.
in the industry. I think
Yeah.
there's a spot for lots of different classes that we don't provide here at Evolution. And if I had my ultimate gym, maybe I would have a Pilates reformer studio in here as well. But yeah, but I don't think that, like, you can pick up a 2 kilo set of dumbbells and say, now this is a strength class.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
It's
I agree
just
with
not.
that. Yeah.
It's just not that.
Yeah.
And I think when you call it that, you mislead the public, and then the public think
That's more
what
of
you're
like
doing.
a Pilates endurance, if anything, or something like.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Just
like,
Pilates.
I think like Pilates, as its like rawest form, was used as like a rehabilitation tool by physios first.
Yeah, and then
Right.
like just mobility and like stabilization,
Yeah.
flexibility.
And I think like it has like its spot because it's good for early interventions for stability. It's good for early interventions for rehab because the load you can apply on the person's very low and very safe and very, you know, very like structured. You can create a program around it, and then it's like, hey, let's move this person on to something that's really beneficial for them, which is actually starting to introduce them to like proper strength training.
Well, then like reformer Pilates,
Yeah,
they're calling that like resistance because it's on.
Because it's got springs.
it's got
Yeah.
springs. Yeah. And I'm not saying that these classes can't be hard. I'm sure they're hard. Like, you can make anything hard.
Yeah, we're not actually shitting on the sport or like the activity. We're just saying like it should be.
No, it's a sport. It'll be in the next Olympics. Reformer
Reformer
Pilates.
Pilates.
It's like how good you can hold this pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like one thing that we try our hardest not to fall into the trap of
Yep.
is trying to jump on trends with training
Yeah, and
styles.
just do what
right?
is exciting.
Like, what is like, we could have opened a gym that's like, right, what's the most popular thing right now? Let's jump on that bandwagon and like get involved in that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it'll net us
Yeah.
more clients that way.
Yeah, it's good
But
business.
It's good for business,
Yeah.
but again, like you see, like
It's also not
you
sustainable.
see it over the last 20 years in particular with training. Like something pops up, it's huge, and then it maybe gets 7 to 10 years,
Yeah.
and then the next thing comes up,
Yeah.
and then everyone moves to that, and everyone moves to the next,
Yeah.
and I guess we didn't want to do that. We don't want to do that. I think we know what works scientifically. We know what works. We know where all the research is, and we know what we think is the best overall health training solution for like long term.
Yeah.
Because like some things are great, but maybe not long term. Like you can't do them forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like particularly really high intensity stuff. Like how long can you do that for? How much damage will you do to your body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you'll make great improvements as well.
Yeah. But also, where's the curve? Where does the curve end? Like, if you were to keep doing, let's just say F45 classes, right? And you'll keep, like, if you're new to training, you're gonna get from your baseline of like you've never done anything or you've done very little, to your baseline of strength pretty quickly with F45 classes, because you know you have to do them at an intensity, so therefore the weight has to be lower. And then you're also going to get to your limit of what you can fit into a 45-minute session pretty quickly. Like the adaptation happens pretty quickly. So maybe, you know, 0 to 6 months, potentially a year, you've probably like maximized your return on investment when it comes to like how much time you spend training. And then what?
Yeah. It would be really interesting
Yeah.
to see what the stats are for how many people go from like something like F45 to then on to something else. Like how long they actually stay doing that for.
Yeah. It probably is short-lived, right? For
Yeah,
most
I would
people,
say
right?
so.
Yeah. And you would leave
So
that, I worry, like you're almost forced to move on to the next big fad, right? Because once you've sort of hit your sort of peak on that sort of training, if a new gym doesn't come along that's offering you the next step, you don't know what to do on your own. Like those classes are very much like, hey, it's a new workout every time, it's stations, you're rotating around.
Also, it's not something you can just go into like another gym and then set up for yourself. Like take that idea and then do it on your own, because you can't do that.
No. It limits your options once you're kind of over it and you need to move on. Like you got to find something else.
You know what I'm glad about as well? Like CrossFit used to be the meme for this as well. And it used to be because the whole CrossFit methodology was that every day had a different workout. Which I know, like, obviously as people that strength train, like we completely disagree with, because how do you progressively overload something that you don't have structure around?
Yeah, it's near impossible
Yeah.
with, like, undulating periodization is a thing, but it requires you to write down every weight you did from previous workouts, but then the order changes as well. So you might go, well, last time I was able to do this exercise that I did 6 weeks ago, in like the WOD from 6 weeks ago, I did it and I did this weight and I did this reps, but the issue is it was third in the list of 6 exercises for that day. Now it's number 6 on this new workout, right? So it's even then you could grab a weight from last time that you did and all of a sudden it's not doable. Like you feel like you've gotten weaker, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much impossible, to progress, right?
And so I reckon I'm glad that like most CrossFit boxes now that I don't really do too much investigating, but like when I chat to people who are doing CrossFit now, I think they're prescribing to better strength training workouts than what they used to be. Like there seems to be like the ones that have stuck around as CrossFit boxes, because a lot of them just obviously COVID was a real test for a lot of businesses like that. The ones that stuck around have definitely adapted to have some structure around their strength training.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing the WOD and that's it. There's been, I think, more of a push for there to be like Olympic lifting be taught as more a skill-based thing.
Yeah.
And that's really good as well.
Yeah.
So I think where the injury risk happens for CrossFit, and I'm speaking as someone who's never actually done CrossFit myself, like as in I've trained Olympic lifting before, I've done cardio before, but I've never done, in quotations, CrossFit itself.
Yeah.
That, it's good to see that there's actually some, and it's because, you know, the people that are still doing it probably want that from their training as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. like proper periodization throughout the
Yeah.
week. Maybe you do a WOD like once or twice a week
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot better than what it used to be.
Yep. What do you guys reckon is a good solution for, like, how do we get this to the general public as far as like educating people about what X is and how to optimize it, and then what another thing is and how to optimize it, and why we should sort of separate it? Do you reckon? My stomach just rumbled really loud.
Did it?
No one heard it.
No.
Okay,
No.
good.
All I can hear is the treadmill.
The treadmill. I think like how do, I don't know, how do we communicate it? No, because we're obviously not a huge platform. Is it someone's job? Like, I think when it comes to exercise, like, I'm glad if anyone's doing something versus doing nothing. The argument's always there, right?
Yeah.
But how do we educate people beyond that point? I think is important too.
Well, I think
Yeah.
you have to. I think the way that we learned would have been that you have to be kind of passionate about it, right?
Yeah.
If you're not that passionate about it, yeah, maybe you need someone to tell you, And I think there's lots of what do you call it? Like people that sort of are known for relaying that information, like science-based influencers, are a thing now. But it does need to be pretty condensed, short, sharp, to the point, and you don't have to, like, you don't go. I mean, there may be some value of like, hey, here's why I'm saying these things. Here's my backing. Here's the evidence, whatever. Yeah. But also, like, it's hard because people don't want to listen to that boring stuff.
We live in the TikTok economy, right? When it comes to people's attention, we've got 10 seconds, really.
Yeah.
So
and if they if they're not passionate or they don't care enough, like they're
gonna swipe. Yeah. Next one. Yeah.
Look, I think from our point of view, I think maybe it's, we do posters. Posters are good for that sort of stuff. Maybe that's a way to really relay information.
Do people read the posters?
Yeah.
Well,
I've done a test of this.
How many people commented on the Google review one?
Probably about 6 total. So
really?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Who are the 6? Because I told some people because I can't hear them mouth shut.
Oh, yeah, it's probably more than 6 now. Yeah.
No, I think that 6 is included in telling
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And also, like, we've found that anytime we used to do educational content, even though we kept ours to about a minute, you can see the analytics. It's like people don't even last 4 seconds.
10 seconds, man.
Like, you lose 50% of your viewers after 4 seconds with educational content. It's like,
no one cares.
People can't even get past the hi, today we're going to talk about, and then that's it. Like, nah, never mind. So maybe it's not up to us. Maybe it's like we just continue to do what we do.
It's try and fit your content in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a solution.
Yeah.
But also make it exciting. Like, our content that does well is just funny stuff.
Yeah.
It's not educational.
No.
Yeah. I don't even care enough.
No.
No one cares about me.
I think you go to
No one cares about anything, let's be honest.
you pay people to tell you what to do because you don't care about learning. Right?
Yeah, literally.
That's why
That's
we have
very
a job.
true.
That's why we have a job.
That is
and
very
so
true.
yeah, people clearly
If they cared enough, they could just outsource that for their own, for themselves and find the information.
They go from training with us to doing their PT course and becoming a PT.
Yeah.
That's what.
Because I don't want to listen to you plug anymore.
Fair enough. Yeah, maybe it's not really a matter of trying to change things. It's just like realizing that people have a limited capacity for what they want to care about and what they want to spend energy on in a day. And after a long day of work and dealing with your kids and all that crap, you're like, I don't want to learn anything. I just want to see some stupid, dumb, someone, tripping over something and hurting themselves and laughing at it. Like, that's it. That's me.
Yep.
Is that what you like to watch?
No, I was because we filmed a video today where I sort of did that, so that was on my mind.
Another one?
Yeah. No, it's why I got the socks.
It's Olympic themed.
Olympic themed video.
Yeah.
Nothing will beat the box one.
The box.
Oh, right.
Nothing.
No. The best part about that was that it wasn't on purpose.
I know, that's why it's so funny.
Yeah. There's been like maybe 2 or 3 videos where I've tripped over something and I intentionally tripped over. Like I think I'm pretty good at that, but that one I didn't mean to do that.
Genuinely.
That was a genuine stack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not surprising.
All right, let's close it there, I guess. Any closing thoughts? Like, for you guys, what do you... No?
I don't think there's any closing thoughts.
There's no closing thought? No.
Yeah, no.
I think my closing thought is that, like, I'd like to be an optimist with this. Like, I'd optimistically like to think that people eventually start caring more and more about their health in the ways that they value knowing the whys behind sort of
what they're doing
and how to get there.
And also how to advance in that then.
Yeah,
like
how
they
to
get
progress.
to a certain point and it's like,
yeah,
where can I go from here?
Yeah. And I think that, I think we probably what we see is like outliers for us is like all the negative stuff. That's what I'm talking about. But there probably is there's probably a bunch of our core clients that like genuinely actually care about what we do. Yeah.
And
have a good belief around what we do.
And sometimes the results are really long term. Like the post that the story you posted today, and I reshared it as well, because I thought it was quite good. Was like, like you and I are both.
What was it?
We're both now in our 30s, like early 30s.
Yeah.
Maddie's not far behind. And like, I already see it now with friends and people that I went to high school with that have just not done any sport, any exercise in 5+ years now, versus the ones that have remained active.
Yeah.
And there's such a difference already.
Yeah, actually.
And that's only in 30s. Like,
like I've turned 30 last year, 31 very soon, and I completely agree with the post that I reshared. There's a big difference between the people that did exercise in the 10 years post high school or 12 years post high school and the people that didn't.
Yeah. Like the amount of people even now that like, I pop in Nurophens every day just for like, I've got just a bad knee, I've got a bad hip or whatever. And like, I don't know what you feel like. I feel like I've got no nothing wrong. My shoulders are good, my elbows are good, my knees are good, my ankles are good. Like I banged my knee like a few weeks back. It's a little bit bruised, but like there's nothing like I can't do. Like I can still run really fast, I can still jump really high, I can still lift really heavy, and I'm not feeling old. Like my joints feel great, like everything feels great. But I don't think...
Athlete.
Yeah, well...
High performance athlete.
I'm a high performance athlete. Athletes sweat. Sweat, baby. Sweat.
Olympic athlete.
That's what we are. I think we're high performance athletes, part-time social media celebrities. That's what I was trying to tell Laurie today.
Part-time
she wasn't
psychologist.
having any
part-time
any bias.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's leave it there, guys.
Anyways, who wants to see a food one next week?
A food one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we rate
so
something.
we
We
do
try
you
different
want to have us rate a bunch of protein bars? Was that the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll go to Coles, we'll go to Woolies and get a bunch of different protein bars.
We've got to go to proper sup
Go to a
stores
sup
as
store.
well.
Really?
Yeah.
Worse than Coles.
Get
We're gonna sell the
some
good shit.
exclusive stuff behind the counter at the supplement shop.
Behind the counter.
There was all sorts going on back in the days of those supplement shops.
Alright.
Yeah. Maybe that's the next podcast episode. I reckon that'll be funny.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.